What motivated me to audition for Mission Makeover? Well, honestly, I'd never seen the show. I told her I sleep with my TV on, and I went to sleep one night and I woke up and it was on Lifetime. So I was mesmerized. I'm watching these women. I was like, wait, oh, I know where that is, you know. So I noticed where they were, and I was like, wow, Mission Makeover. I said, and I went to the website. So I'm one of those people, like, I see something, so I'll Google it later. So I Googled it, I landed on the website, and then there was a casting call. I was like, okay. I was like, I could so do this. So I was really excited. I've already been on a journey for the past year and a half, more than a year, where I did Weight Watchers and I lost 40 pounds. I was already on my own little mission. And I was like, this is good. So I sent in an application and I submitted another application with a different picture, thinking maybe they didn't see the first picture, so let me send another one. And here I am. I've been on this journey for a while, and what I needed was something else, you know, give me more tools to get where I want to be. I joined the gym and I Googled some stuff and I said, oh, well, I'm going to juice. So I'll juice for a few days. And then, well, I'm going to do this. And, you know, just kind of taking cues from other people and so I really just didn't have the right map, you know, and yes, I lost the 40 pounds at Weight Watchers, but I wanted to do more. I wanted more, and I just didn't know what to do. I wasn't doing something right because the weight stopped coming off like it was, and I just didn't know what to do. So that's why I needed more tools. My immediate family doesn't live here. They live in North Florida. So this has been a journey for me. It hasn't been, but one of the things that has me on this journey as well is I have an 11-year-old son, and he's a little heavy for his age, and because he takes cues from me and he eats what I eat, I started to, you know, see things in him that I didn't want him to be my age and trying to drop weight and being, you know, dealing with because I've been heavy all my life. I've been heavy all my life, and I've always just you know, the chubby girl, and, you know, it's cute, you know, in elementary school, but it's not, you know, in your 40s, you want to get this weight off you. And one of the things in my family that prompted me really is when I started the journey a year ago, I lost my grandmother. My grandmother raised me, and she's always big mama. So, and my grandmother can cook, and all my aunts, they can cook. And seeing her, she died at 77. So seeing all her health challenges and double bypass, and seeing my mom go through with heart valve replacement surgery, and just sitting in the hospital and doing those things, I didn't want my kids to do that. You know, I didn't want my kids to go through what I've gone through, and I didn't want high blood pressure medicine or all these things to take a toll on my body as I watched, you know, my grandmother deteriorate. I mean, even people said, oh, at 77, she's lived a long life. Yeah, but she's lived a lot of her life in the hospital, doing surgeries, being on medication, and I didn't want that. So that was one of the reasons that really I just buckled down and said, you know what, I'm 40 years old, I got to get this off me. Growing up with my grandmother in the house, since my grandmother raised me, I grew up in the house with my aunts, and they all can cook, and they're all heavy. But they all cooked all the soul food and collard greens and ham hocks, and this is stuff that I grew up with. But no, I don't cook that well. That was one of the things that I didn't have to do. I had to, you know, my thing was going to school and you know, studying, but they cooked really good food. So, and the food's good, and that's how we ate. And everybody around me was heavy. So I didn't think everybody in my family was heavy. So I didn't think I was anything different. And there was no push to, girl, you need to lose weight. There was none of that in my house. You know, everybody was big, and that's just how we are. A typical meal for me and my son, I don't cook a lot, but I do. I can do some stuff in the kitchen. A typical meal is, Jordan, we're gonna eat better today, and we're gonna go to Pollo Tropical and get brown rice and black beans and grilled chicken. Typically before I started doing Weight Watchers and started just eating, we did eat out a lot. And I would, you know, by the time I worked all day, gone to Boy Scouts or gone to a PTA meeting, we were picking up McNuggets from McDonald's and picking up that stuff. But when I started my journey a year ago, we started to do things differently. So when we eat out now, it's usually just Subway. I'll get a sub. And I said, well, I encourage him to get a wheat sub, get his sub on wheat and those sort of things. But other than that, when I cook, I'll probably cook some chicken legs and I'll bake them in the oven. I don't fry chicken because I really don't like my house to smell like grease. So I don't fry foods. I just put stuff in the oven, and I like frozen vegetables in a bag, something quick. I say everything I cook is very quick and easy. Brown rice in a bag and vegetables, the steaming bag. So that's typical, but that's not often. Because I work a full-time job. Jordan's in Cub Scouts. I'm the PTA president. So I actually work for Legal Services of Greater Miami. And what I do there, my title is Resource Development Administrator. So it's a fancy title for grants manager. And what we do is provide free legal services to low income in Dade County. And what I do there is I make sure that the funding that we receive, that we're doing what we said we're going to do with the dollars. So I work with a lot of attorneys to make sure that we're doing what we need to do with the dollars that we're given. So my day is full day. I work 8 hours. By the time Jordan actually goes to aftercare, so I pick him up, and when we're getting home, like on a good day where there's no Cub Scout, there's no PTA, we're usually here maybe about 7, after 7. So after 7, it's time to let's go over the homework. Let's eat something, and so I think I don't have much time because of my work schedule. So I'm ecstatic when meetings are canceled. Like, what? There's no PTA meeting? Like, yes, I could go home. So I get excited about stuff like that. But that's why I don't cook as often. When I did start this journey, I did start doing stuff like meal prep on Sunday, where I'd cook a bunch of grilled chicken, or I love turkey burgers, so I cook a bunch of turkey burgers so that we can try to have something during the week. But getting home after 7:30, it's kind of like too late to be eating at 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So usually the summer's easier because we got home a little earlier. But it's time. I'm a busy girl. As far as Mission Makeover and what I feel my biggest challenge would be maybe time. Because like I said, I am a busy girl. But currently, I already work out every day. So I get up in the morning, I leave Jordan in bed, and I get up, and the gym is probably 1.5 miles down the road, and I go to the gym every morning. So I've started to make time because I realize how important it is for me to work out. So challenge, I think it's going to be time, trying to balance everything. Balance my job, which can be demanding at times. But for the most part, I have deadlines for my job, but trying to balance it all and do my best. I'm one of those, I'm very competitive, so I'm looking forward to the challenge, but it's gonna be a challenge fitting it all in, getting to it, so that's it.
What do you and your son do in your free time that you don't have a lot of?
Free time, me and Jordan. Jordan is an electronics kid. He actually gets in the car and, Mom, where's your iPad? So he plays a lot of games, but what we do is our weekends we love going to the movies. And we go to the movies where we can go to the arcade. So we do those kind of things. He's like an arcade kid. And we go to the pool. So we spend time at the pool. But mostly it's so hot in South Florida, as we all know. We do a lot of stuff indoors. So we're always on the latest movie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just came out, so we saw that. So we're always watching the latest movies, game rooms, those kind of things. We do like to go to the pool. Earlier this year, Jordan was going on a field trip, and they were going to a water park. And he was insistent that I get him one of the swim shirts because he didn't want to walk around the pool, with his classmates, without a shirt. So those kind of things, I try not to feed his insecurity. Like, I don't want him to feel bad, but I also try to, it's hard. It's a challenge trying to tell him. You want to ensure, that he has good self-esteem, but you also want to say, well, hey, Jordan, well, maybe, honey, if you didn't eat those, eat so much candy, then that'll slim down. But he's starting to display things where he's uncomfortable in certain situations because of his size. He played baseball this year. He loves baseball. He's not the football kid, even though everyone and people see him and say, "Oh, he's a little linebacker. You should play football." And I think it makes him feel some kind of way because just because he's a big kid, he doesn't like football. He really wants to play baseball. So they made him the catcher this year. And he had a real problem being the catcher because they spent a lot of time kind of like in that squatted position, and he really couldn't maintain that position. So, having a coach, you need to be on your, and he's like on his knees because he can't, maintain that position long. So those kind of things are like, you know what, I feel like it's my fault. And because he only eats, besides, what he does in school, he only eats what I feed him. So if I'm feeding him junk, and I want to say during my journey, I've lost weight and Jordan's gained weight. So because I guess I feel at 11, I don't want to deprive him. I don't want him to feel deprived or feel different. But I also, it's hard trying to balance it where I'm like, well, no, Jordan, you can't have that because I don't want him to feel self-conscious about himself. I want to instill in him that he's a champion, that he's, that he's special. But I also don't want him to go through being the big kid, all the time. And, and he struggles with that. So he won't go to the pool without his swim shirt. He wants to wear a shirt. And even little things that he's, very self-conscious about certain things. And so my goal as a parent is to still instill him good self-esteem, but also kind of help him go along a better path. Well, and as far as my self-esteem, I don't know. It depends on what day it is. I can honestly say that. I get up some mornings, I get up some mornings thinking, oh, wow, look at you. But I am, and I walk with that confidence and I have that confidence. But there are certain things that I don't do. I don't wear sleeveless, because I'm self-conscious. And it takes me longer to get dressed because there's certain things that I want to cover or certain things that I'm not comfortable with. There are certain things that I just will not positively wear. Just because they make it in my size don't mean I need to have it on. So I feel very confident because I am. I love me, I love life, but I'm also aware that I have some things that I want to improve on. So I definitely accentuate the positive and try to kind of hide those things that I don't necessarily, physical things that I don't necessarily want people to see. So I'm always making sure that I'm wearing something, it's hot in Miami and I'd love to walk around in sleeveless, but my arms aren't really what I want them to be. So those kind of things. Or I may not wear shorts, I may wear capris and, those kind of things. Well, my experience with shopping for clothes is, I definitely I realized that I have a lot of black in my closet. I didn't even realize that. And I'm really a fun, outgoing person, and I'm not sure why I don't have many colors because black is slimming. I shop a lot with my girlfriends, and, it's always, we get in the store and we have to separate because I'm going to plus size and they're not. So definitely, being plus size, you shop differently, and I may see a wonderful tank top. Oh, that's really pretty. But of course, I'm like, let me think. Do I have a little sweater to go over this? Or I've seen beautiful sleeveless dresses that I would love to wear. I'm like, gosh, do I have a nice little jacket to wear over that? So those kind of things affect. And like I said, I go out with my friends and we literally separate. So I can go to the plus size and they can go to the regular size. So definitely, your size affects how you shop. Definitely, I can't shop in every store. And then you kind of go to the 2 or 3 plus size stores that, and that's kind of what you're limited to. So that's it. That's all you can do. When I reach my goal of losing 40 to 50 pounds, I'm going to go out and buy me all the sleeveless tops that I want to. Actually, I want to go rock climbing. That sounds really funny, but I always felt like I got too much weight to be trying to get up on those rocks. I actually want to go rock climbing, and I definitely want to shop in the regular size clothes and not in the plus size clothes. Those are definitely things that I want to do once my mission is over.